I'm Jay.
I'm Adrian.
And together we are the
Two Crazy Cat Ladies.
I'm gonna cut you.
I think I just peed.
Buckle up. We're back in the closet.
Welcome to another episode of Back in the Closet with the Two Crazy Cat Ladies. Guys, this week is so exciting because this episode is all about the month of June, which is Adopt a Shelter Cat Month. And we wanted to bring on someone who is diehard awesome when it comes to rescue, so that we could bring her to you. And we knew from the very beginning, we talked about this last month, and it was like, oh, it's Adopt a Shelter Cat Month. Who can we have on? And we were both like, Erin. So Erin Lydy, thank you so much for joining us. You are just like so admirable.
I think a lot of people in our community probably already know a little bit about you.
Yeah, Laura Lee's here already.
Laura Lee is here. Hey, Laura Lee.
Humans.
Hi, Anna. You really are such an inspiration. We were talking just a little bit offline before we came on. We've known you since 2019. I love your babies actually brought us together. So
yep, they sure did.
Since then, man, you are just one of the most inspiring people we know, really putting your passion into a purpose. And so you created Firelands Community Cat Coalition. You do incredible TNR work. You are boots on the ground all the time.
And still looking beautiful and shiny every day.
And always so full of joy. So for anyone in our community that does not know you, would you share a little introduction and a little bit of your journey here?
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. What a joy. What a pleasure. This is the highlight of my day. So thank you so much. This is wonderful. I'm Erin Lydy. I'm the founder of Firelands Community Cat Coalition, FC3 for short, located in Northern Ohio, which is Norwalk, Ohio. And yeah, I started this as a grassroots when nobody else was doing it. And there was a lot of kind of, criticizing and complaining, but not a lot of contributing. So I chose to be the someone. I coined the hashtag be the someone and just went after it and started FC3. Yeah. Also, so the job that pays the bills is I'm a leadership and team development consultant. So that's the job that pays the bills. So I go from many outfits. Like I've been in like 3 outfits today based on what meeting I have. And so that's why the hair looks good.
Are you comfortable in your outfit right now?
Yes, absolutely.
Good. Then we're winning.
Look at it. I mean, I know those listening on the podcast can't see it, but those watching live, show everyone your shirt.
I love it. FC3. You designed that probably too, didn't you?
Yes. So we did a little sketch, and then we had a professional do it. Yeah, but no, I absolutely love it. It is we get so many compliments on our logo.
It's
really
so
awesome.
Fantastic. So let's talk a little bit. Let's start off with just your awesome hashtag, right? Like this is Adopt a Shelter Cat Month. There is so much. I mean, I feel like my feed, probably your feed, is just inundated with so many babies in help, right? Shelters that I watched a video the other day of 400 shelter cats that no one had ever even seen. It's like there's so many. Share a little bit about why you did decide to be the someone
and what you do.
Yeah. What your it's like.
Yeah, so it really all started in Las Vegas. So I traveled from Ohio to Las Vegas to adopt 2 one-eyed kitties from Nikki with my foster kittens. And she's also with C5, which is out there in Vegas. It's a TNR organization. And Cat Camp was happening at the same time. So that's where I met you guys. And that's where I learned all about TNR and foster and rescue and be the someone. You can find one thing. You can find one thing to help out a shelter, to help out a rescue, to help out a TNR organization. And I toured C5. Nikki took me over to C5 and I got to tour their facility. It's just a 2-car garage. It's just a 2-car garage.
Yep.
So you can truly make it work. We were still living in Columbus at the time, and shortly thereafter, we moved to Norwalk, Ohio, which is a tiny town, a teeny tiny town, and in like between Toledo and Cleveland, a rural community. And it shows up pretty quickly on your Facebook community pages that everybody's complaining about the community cats, the feral cats, found a cat, found kittens. And I asked the question, who's doing TNR here? Where are the rescue organizations? I pretty much got laughed at. And I said, well, guess what? We're going to start one. So got a few people together and said, I had already toured C5. I had already connected with the founders of C5. They'd kind of given me their blueprint. And I love, what is it? It'll come back to me. But anyways, so I basically took their blueprint and I just kind of duplicated it. Rip off and duplicate, R&D. It's R&D. It's not research and develop. It's rip off and duplicate.
Yes.
Yeah. So I took their blueprint and I said, we're just going to implement the same thing. We're going to implement the process. We're going to, start telling people we're here to help them. We operate on donations only. And fast forward, since we started, we have fixed over 700 community cats.
Wow.
And, yeah. When you do the numbers, so not everybody maybe knows the numbers, but one female kitten can get pregnant at 4 months old, have 3 litters a year, can have up to 6 to 7 kitties in each litter. You have females in those litters. Those females get pregnant at 4 months old. They also have multiple litters a year. So going back to that one kitty not getting fixed, that equates to 2,000 kitties after 4 years.
Wow.
That's incredible.
After 9 years, it's 11 million. So,
oh my God. Jesus.
So we fixed over 700 kitties. It's equivalent to 1.5 million kitties not being born.
Wow.
That is incredible. I know that a lot. I know when we first learned about TNR, I remember being like, what? They catch them and then they release them? Like, what?
Yeah.
I have never in my life been more emotionally exhausted and just TNR is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is. Especially when you have such an
hard.
affection for cats. Yeah. And it's like it's the act of doing it can be difficult because I mean, people in our community know, right? Like a lot of times you end up with a lot of cats because this one we just like, I can't drop them back off there. No, I can't.
And
let
the
them
ones
go.
that follow you after you release them, it's just like, so talk a little bit about, because you have saved so much suffering. I know a lot of people think, well, TNR and then putting them back, or it'd be different if you could get them all adopted, right? But a lot of cats are feral, semi-feral.
Yeah. Right.
Explain a little bit how you, because then there are those adoptable kitties. Cats just turn in.
Yeah, just explain a little bit about what TNR is and why it's so important.
Sure. TNR, Trap-Neuter-Return, is really getting to the root of the problem. It's getting to the root of the problem of the cat overpopulation. And when we get those outdoor community cats fixed, we're preventing future kittens from being born. And this is what happens, whether this has happened to you or it's about to happen to you, or someone it's happened to. A cat's going to show up on your sidewalk, porch, garage, whatever, and you're going to wonder, does this cat belong to someone? You posted it on your local lost and found, and nobody claims the kitty, and lo and behold, 2 weeks later, you find kittens, right? And so you're like, okay, well, I found kittens. Now I'm going to try to find the kittens' homes. And this is a cycle that is happening in our area constantly. And so they decided mama's going to take care of the kittens. They let that happen. The kittens finally get old enough to be adopted. So then they say, hey, these kittens are ready for their homes and they're free. So then people say, oh, I'll take a kitten. I want a kitten. But then they decided the kitten needs to get fixed, but it's $400. Well, they don't have $400 to get the kitten fixed. And then the kitten gets out and the kitten gets pregnant, right? And the kitten shows up with kittens. And the cycle just starts all over again. And we're really good at being proactive for things in our lives. And we need to do a better job at being proactive when it comes to getting cats fixed to prevent kittens from being born. And this is where TNR gets to the root of the problem. And we work with colony caretakers. We do have some amazing colony caretakers. And when a kitty is born outside and raised outside, we have 4 kitties that we're taking care of outside. They want nothing to do with humans. They hiss at us. They love the food we give them, but boy, do they hiss at us. And they're slowly warming up to us, but it's on their terms.
Right.
So kitties that are born outside and are not socialized and are not around humans, they live outside. That's their home. And if they have a colony caretaker, they go back to their colony caretaker, because forcing them to live inside or acclimate to being inside is not fair to them. It's not, if they choose to acclimate and eventually go inside, that's up to them, and we let them do it on their time. But if they have a good colony caretaker, they have shelter, they have food and all of that, they know their home, they know their safe spaces, they know their food locations, and that's their home. And that's hard for us humans to accept sometimes, because we put our emotions on the kitties.
Yes.
Like, you need to sleep on my couch. Well, they don't want to, right? they don't like humans, and we just have to honor and respect that.
Yeah.
But then we do, obviously we're trapping, we find kittens. If we have the ability, we'll try to partner with a rescue who can foster and adopt them out. It's really hard to do that. This is a nationwide problem, and I'm seeing this, you guys know I have line of sight to
Worldwide problem.
Yeah. And I'm part of Mission Meow. So, right, you guys are amazing supporters of Mission Meow, right? So I'm an advisor on Mission Meow, a mentor, grant recipient, also a business partner. So I have line of sight to all these organizations. And it really seems like this is the first year I'm seeing organizations have to put fixed kittens back outside, because there aren't places for them. There aren't shelters, there aren't rescues, there aren't people adopting. Adoptions are down, surrenders are sky high. It's just a really tough time. And so we really need to do a better job at going back to the root of the problem and really focusing on getting the kitties fixed and preventing more kitties being born.
Yeah. Why do you think surrenders are so high right now?
Oh my goodness. Well, so many variables, whether it's, and people can't afford their homes anymore. People can't afford their bills anymore. So we see it here. People are being evicted. They try really hard to find homes for their pets. Well, then they're like, it didn't work. So guess what? We're all on the streets now, and it's just awful. So yeah, it's just, the numbers are they're bad this year. So yeah.
God, that is heartbreaking.
I know.
I think you speak to something that I didn't really realize, because I'm incredibly ignorant of so many things. But you moved to Norwalk, you realized, on the community page that there was this issue with community cats, and asked, who does TNR? Who's like, I literally have always assumed that every community gives
like has a
cares
TNR
about
program,
this, right? Like that it's because we see so many of these beautiful organizations, but then you think about all these small towns, all these cities, it is an issue. So I think that we also spend a lot of time talking with people who are community cat caretakers, and may not know about TNR, or may not know when they go out and feed them, and they go out and they try to care for them. What is a small step? You know how Dr. Katie Woodley always says, just start when it seems overwhelming, and this does seem like an overwhelming issue.
What's that one
thing someone in a community that does not have these resources, what's one thing they can do?
Yeah.
Right. So there's a few things you can do. And it's so funny, because before we showed up tonight, my husband and I went and grabbed a bite to eat, and I cannot, lights are flickering. We have storms coming, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, it doesn't seem like we can go anywhere without talking about cats. And somehow somebody asked the question, well, how many cats do you have? And I said, well, 4 resident, 4 outdoor, 1 foster, and then she says, my mom has 11, and she, blah, blah, blah. And there's just more and more kittens. I'm like, well, does she get them fixed? And somebody else overheard the conversation. Did I hear you say you get cats fixed in our town? I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Add to the list. So people are asking this question through email, through text, through belling up to the bar every day. Our list of cats that needs fixed is over 500.
Wow.
We drive we drive over an hour to get to the closest clinic, the closest low-cost clinic. So you've got to maximize your resources. So it's going online, it's researching your county with the letters TNR, Cat TNR, your county, and see what's there, whether it's your humane society, a shelter, a rescue. Now, we have a list. You can sign up and join our list. It might be months until we get to you because we're very limited on our appointment times and how many times we can get to the clinic. And we also offer trap loaning. So we can loan you some traps. We recommend the clinics that you can go to. And if you can get your own appointments, we can lend you traps and we can show you what to do and show you how to trap. And we actually just started our YouTube channel, Small Town TNR.
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
We need to put that link in this.
Yeah.
Yes, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, Small Town TNR. So we're trying to educate. We're trying to educate on trap training because I just was repeating myself on how to trap train. And so I was like, I'll make a video and all I have to do is send a link and how to set a trap. So I try to take the friction away and try to make it as simple as possible. But when it comes to the appointment times and the travel and the transport, that's the biggest challenge we're up against right now is getting through our list and getting more kitties fixed on a monthly basis.
Wow.
This is a little off topic, but I'm thinking about it because we're melting here in Las Vegas right now.
Yeah.
And I know for a lot of people, maybe they just listened to that and they said, well, I'll just keep taking care of these kitties. And
I'll just keep putting food out.
Yeah, although I do think, not everyone is in that situation where it's an hour away. I feel like, just kind of searching and seeing, or, contacting someone who maybe in a neighboring town that could have resources. To be able to do the, I forget what it's called, ride sharing, basically, right? Yeah. So like if you can find somebody else that is passionate, that might live halfway between you and that, and you could bring the cats this far and they could bring the cats that far, then it cuts that time in half for both of you,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's brilliant. We try to divide up our responsibilities, right? We try to have people who are assigned to trapping, and then people assigned to transporting, and then people assigned to come take care of the kitties and feed them and clean the traps, right? So everybody can play a part as to what they choose to do or what they want to do. And so what's really funny is we actually have some people who sign up to do the transport because they go to Toledo and there's a casino in Toledo and they go to the casino.
Hey, that's brilliant though, right?
Incentive.
Like I deserve some time at the casino because I just did this this good deed. Yeah.
I love Sissy is here in the background. She is dropping the link to your YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Small Town TNR on Facebook and on YouTube here. So thank you for that.
Yes.
Sissy.
Thank you.
So one thing though, I really do think that the focus on being able to get these kitties fixed, so these community cat communities don't continue growing and overpopulating, that is one of the most heartbreaking things. And I think that people need to understand just how many lives they are saving by doing it. There's a huge impact that it makes for those community cats. For people that are helping those kitties, especially in a place like Las Vegas, do you have any pro tips? And you're up in Ohio, so you have terrible winters. Do you have any pro tips on how to help community cats stay cool in the summertime?
Yeah.
And in the winter months?
Yeah. So even our own little feral kitties, right? So we have all seasons. So we were in -20 in the winter and we were like 85 with 100% humidity, today. So we have noticed that we don't see the kitties when it's hot. So they eat very early. They are ready to eat at 6 a.m. So putting the food out early when it's cool and they can eat early, and then they can go hunker down and find some shade and find some cool spots. And then again at dusk, but before the raccoons and skunks come out, right? Feed the kitties when it's starting to cool off. And then your outdoor shelters that you use, the styrofoam and the styrofoam inside the totes, and then the straw. Straws are for strays, so make sure you're using straw. Those same totes are good for summer also because they're cooling also. The kitties can lay on the straw and also be cooling. One of our kitties, we still have our outdoor totes out. One of our kitties was laying on the straw just the other day. Yeah. So knowing when they're going to hunker down and and then giving them, in the winter, they had their outdoor shelters, but then we also kind of propped up our garage door a little bit so they could go in the garage, and we had little shelters in the garage, and the food was in the garage. So it's trying to find ways to help them stay cool, stay warm, depending on the season. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's brilliant.
I did not realize
I didn't realize that those shelters, because we always talk about that in the winter time. I didn't realize that they could all, I mean, it makes sense now. I don't know why I didn't realize that, but like that can also help regulate the heat.
Yeah.
I love that.
Can we talk a little bit about, I think I love that, I see, Adopt a Shelter Cat Month, like so happy, joy. But why is this month, like in your opinion, why is this month so important for TNR, for rescue organizations?
Yeah, so for me, it's education and awareness and like advocacy and understanding, the kitties that come into the shelter, they come into the shelter for so many different reasons. They come into the shelter through other rescues. They come into the shelter because, somebody found them and they had space and they're willing to, provide space for them in the shelter. But the shelters, rescues, any organization, they're working so hard. They're working so hard, and people expect the answer to be immediate, and you have to remember that you're one of many people asking for help, and just to be kind and recognize that there are 100 other people that need help with their animals, and they're relying on the shelter to help them. And if you have an opportunity, a way to fill the gap between what the shelter is able to do or what the shelter is not able to do, or if they're not offering TNR, there's even shelters in our state that refuse to take in cats. So be the rescue that takes in cats. So it's just a matter of appreciating what shelters are able to do, respecting and honoring their policies. If they say no, it's not because they want to. It's so hard to say no, but just try to find alternate resources and maybe try to be the someone to fill in the gap of where resources are missing.
Yeah. Can you give us some common myths about shelter cats?
Sure. So it seems like sometimes people think, well, they're like broken. They're sick. There's something wrong with them. They are always, either peeing outside the box or the behavior issues. And, sometimes, yes, that's the case, but not as often as people might think. It's not super common. I mean, your shelters are providing the protection for the kitties and helping them be socialized and helping them be adoptable and taking really good care of them and getting all the vet care they need before going to their forever home. So when you're looking at a free kitty versus a shelter kitty, your shelter kitty has had all the vet routine it needs. It's been fixed. It's been vaccinated. It's had any medicine or any disease treated. It's had its antibiotics if it needs them, whatever the case may be. That kitty has been taken care of and is ready for your home. So it's just keeping that in mind. And the folks at the shelters, they work so hard and they have such big hearts and spend so much time loving these animals. So you definitely get a loved animal, and they don't want to turn you away if they don't have space for what your needs are. So just try to remember that and try to just kind of honor and respect that. They're just getting slammed from so many sides.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of them are volunteers, like they're actually not paid at all.
Yes.
To do this.
I know.
Yeah.
And you wonder, it's like you wonder, why do I do this if all I get is like, criticized and, complaints and all of that. So it's, just remember that they're doing this out of the kindness and of their heart and the love for the animals, and basically because no one else did. And somebody abandoned the animal and they were the ones there to take them in.
Yeah.
What kind of advice do you have? I mean, I think for the broader community, maybe they've never volunteered at a shelter. They don't know kind of how that works. Maybe they've never done TNR. And I get it. Like it is hard work, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, But some people have really just never been exposed to any of that.
Yeah.
And maybe now they're
We
thinking,
had not.
no.
When we started
We
as
didn't know
Two
what
Crazy
TNR
Cat
was.
Ladies, like we were introduced after we started Two Crazy Cat Ladies. One of our friends was like, "Oh, I want to hook you up with Best Friends Animal Society." They were here in Vegas doing courses on TNR, and she's like, "You need to take these courses and like learn and help out." And we were like, "What?
Is that?
What
Let's
is
go.
that?"
Yeah.
Like we had no
We had
idea.
no idea.
And we've been cat parents for years and years and
Right.
years and had no idea, like, and we were always the one that like all of our cats came to us on the side of the road or in a ditch or, like there was always
Show up.
Yeah. So it's not something that like everybody knows. But I feel like this community specifically, we all just have such a heart. Like we want to play a part. We want to help in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, exactly. And that's amazing. And you absolutely can. So find out what you want to do and what your interest is. And there's a place for you, right? Do you want to take pictures? Do you want to do social media? Do you want to do laundry? Do you just want to stop by, pick up a load of trap covers and towels or whatever, and do a couple loads of laundry? Do you want to go get donations for newspapers? Do you want to help with fundraising? Do you want to help find sponsors for fundraisers that are upcoming? Do you just want to go talk to the colony caretakers and help educate? We appreciate what you're doing. We're going to give you some food for free. Here's what we can do to help get your cats fixed so you have, less mouths in the future. It's cheaper to fix than it is to feed because of the duplication. So it's a matter of, connecting with an organization that maybe aligns with you and your purpose and your goals and how you want to contribute. And then find out where you might fit best. Ask them kind of what roles are available and where the help is needed the most, and just offer some of your skill sets to offset the work that these volunteers are doing all on their own.
Yeah. Laura Lee is here. She said towel laundry is never ending. I mean, but like you would, I didn't even think of that. Like everything that you just said are things that we all can do. Small steps make the bigger picture. Like if all of us come together and do one small thing, it is contributing to the lives being saved. Because another part and why we started working with TNR when we first started Two Crazy Cat Ladies was because they talked about like you're actually saving lives. Like we were like, don't we want all the cats in the world? Don't we want them to reproduce? Like, wouldn't we really want the whole world to be run by cats? But they're on the streets, and they are subject to a lot of harm, and and disease, right? That can't be regulated without being in somebody's home. And not having an actual human to take care of you. So we are also saving their lives by doing it.
Yes, there's so many risks. Yeah.
Yep. And
doing mom is unhealthy. Yeah.
Oh, what a great idea. Lori left a comment here. She said 2 schools in the U.S. collaborated with local animal shelters. The teachers had their students draw pictures of the shelter pets and wrote a short bio about them. Every pet got adopted.
That's amazing. That's so creative. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
That is beautiful.
I want to ask, because you are somebody that I feel privileged to call a friend. I love that we've known you for a hot minute, and I love following your journey, and I can't get over what a beast you are. Like from meeting you, I thought you were like, talk about crazy cat lady coming from Ohio to come, my foster kittens here in Vegas with these babies, and we got to meet your babies while they were here. And then just watching what you do, like really turning your passion into results. It's really inspiring.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What kind of advice do you have for all of us who are not necessarily boots on the ground, that are very passionate about the work that you do, very passionate about cats, rescue, TNR? How can we support? How can we support you guys?
Yeah.
Specifically, and you specifically. I mean, even the emotional stamina is what's so inspiring to me. I guess you answer how we can support you. What do you do to maintain that? emotional stamina.
Oh,
How do
yeah.
you do?
It's tough. And what's interesting is this has been a really tough year, and this is the first year I've been like extra grumpy and extra on edge. And there's
Yeah,
so many, yeah. Oh yeah, just ask Matt. He's like, oh, it's TNR season. Yeah. He's like the best partner also because date night is trapping night. So we
Oh my God, I love him so much.
So he's amazing. But so it's setting boundaries. It's setting boundaries, and we may have opportunities to add on more clinics, but my boundaries won't let that happen unless we have more people to help out. We were doing 4 transports a month. We were doing 1 a week, and we had no margin in our lives. So we have a couple things that we're trying to mitigate pretty quickly. We've launched three fundraisers. We actually got a grant from United Spay Alliance for $2,000. We have to raise $2,000 to get $2,000. And so we have some fundraisers going on. We have 2 local fundraisers. We're having a concert in town. It's called the British Invasion. They are a 60s British band. They're known worldwide. So they're coming to our area to do a concert, and that's in July. And then in August, we're doing pet CPR. Now, this is something that is offered nationwide. In fact, Hearts Alive Village in Las Vegas has one scheduled for pet CPR. Yes, so it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you. It's for both dogs and cats, and it's a 3-hour course. CEUs are offered, and they're going to teach you how to first aid, CPR for your pets. Now, our closest 24-hour clinic is an hour away, so if we have an opportunity to have that skill set to save one of our furry friends, it's a skill set you hope you don't ever need, but you'll be glad you have if you do need it. Yes. So those are the 2 fundraisers, and then we're doing we're raising money for a transport van. So right now we can only take 6 kitties to the clinic at a time because that's what our car can fit. And if we get a transport van, we can take 30. And we have clinics that are willing to give us an entire day to get 30 cats fixed. So that means maybe 1 transport a month. And if we have a transport van, so we have a really cute, we're building a puzzle. We have a really cute puzzle with a little van with a bunch of kitties in it. And it's a 200-piece puzzle, and each puzzle piece is $100. But then, so we're going to raise $20,000, but then we're going to give away $5,000. We're going to have 14 winners. We're going to have a $1,000 winner, 2 $500 winners, and 10 $250 winners. So that's available to everyone because you can buy a puzzle piece, help us get a van, and
get that link too. We need that link too.
Where do we find that? On the website?
That's just our website, fc3tnr.org. Everything is listed on our website. The band, the CPR, the puzzle is all listed. So it's an opportunity. It's a raffle. It's a reverse raffle. You can potentially win money. So yeah. So those are ways people can help. But the simplest ways is just sharing the message, sharing the posts that you see, inviting your friends to like other shelters and businesses and rescues so they get a greater following. It always seems like the same 3 people are sharing our stuff, and it's seen by the same groups. And if we could get more people to share, then it's shared with more networks and more people. So the organic growth and all that, that part's free, and just sharing, liking, commenting. Yeah.
That's easy. You're doing that already because we're all scrolling through social media at some point, right? So find that. Oh, I love that.
That is.
We'll do better by that.
Yes, we will. I love Sissy just dropped your website to FC3's.
Thank you. Oh, you're amazing.
And I love that idea. I don't know how you do it. I really feel like you are always on the move, and like you said, you wear many hats. It's not like this is the only thing.
And outfits.
And outfits.
Literally, yeah.
And I do feel like there's so many of us that maybe we're scrolling and see something and want to help and think that donating money is the only way. And I feel like there is so much more you've already highlighted tonight, as far as just being able to pick up a load of laundry and take an hour and a half out of someone. You know what I mean? Like, or the newspapers. That is a question I have. With newspapers being...
Are they hard to find?
Yeah. Is it hard to get newspapers now?
Somehow not where I am. I mean, yeah. I don't know. maybe in some areas it might be, but yeah, people are dropping off boxes of newspapers frequently.
Nice. Okay.
Matt is Erin's fabulous husband that we were just talking about. He is watching the clouds outside. Tammy just said this tornado watch in Huron, Ohio keeps stopping live.
So you guys give hearts to Tammy. She's one of our colony caretakers.
Love you, Tammy.
Yes,
Tammy.
She is one of our colony caretakers. She takes care of maybe 20, 30 cats. We have spent so much time in her area getting her cats fixed. She's an amazing human. Yeah.
Oh my God. I hope you're somewhere safe right now. Matt will come in and let you and tell you if you need to go seek shelter, right?
Yeah, he'll tell me. Yep. No sirens yet.
Okay.
Forgot about the sirens.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, the tornado got me a little off.
We don't have tornadoes here in Vegas.
I know.
We don't have any weather other than extreme heat. But I grew up I was born in Arkansas and grew up in Tennessee. So
yeah.
I forgot about the sirens.
As
my daddy called them, sirens.
Sirens is what he calls them. I hear them sirens. That is what he calls them. Real quick, so talking about advocacy, talking about contacting a rescue or a TNR organization in our own communities to see what gaps we can help fill. Can you talk to us a little bit? You are doing it right now. I love your heart. Can you talk to us a little bit about fostering? Because I think, that's one of those things that is also, that's a big commitment, but it is also something that is maybe not as difficult or overwhelming as someone like me may think.
Right.
What are your thoughts on fostering, since you're doing it right now?
Oh, fostering is so desperately needed because we are seeing more. This is again nationwide. We're seeing more and more kitties old enough to get fixed, but then going back outside because there's no space for them. There's no fosters available. There's no space in shelters. Rescues are full, and I don't know if that's something that we've seen before the way we're seeing it now. So offering up a bathroom, a spare bedroom, a spare space, even like I've even provided those plastic walls that you can just, put in a corner of a room if the kitties are small enough, they won't jump out. And if you have a mom and the babies, they need a clean, safe space to grow up, to avoid any diseases or anything coming into shelters. And that's it. You just need a tiny space. And most rescues, we're one of them, will provide everything you need. Provide everything you need: the food, the litter, all the vet care. They just need love and space. So if there's a way to foster, definitely raise your hand and sign up to foster. Ask what the requirements are. Everybody has different requirements. Some require you to pay for the food. Some provide everything. So just find out what the requirements are and what your responsibilities are. But if you have a spare bathroom, a spare bedroom, it's still bigger than a little shelter space. So we're currently fostering a kitty. We trapped a kitty at one of our locations and went to the clinic to get fixed, but we were told he was too sick to get fixed. He has jaundice and mycoplasma and anemia, pillow foot, and a couple other things. And so had to come back. I ended up fostering him, and he was just in one of those soft-sided crates in one of our extra rooms, and was on antibiotics and all that, and partnered with Dr. Katie Woodley and Laura Lee. So we brought the amazing protocol together between those two. And he just got fixed a couple weeks ago. Did a full blood panel. Anemia is gone. Liver panel is perfect. So we did everything Dr. Katie recommended, and his anemia cleared up, and all of his blood work looked amazing. So he's still with me. He's still fostering. Laura Lee's helping me with a few behavioral challenges. So we're working through that now. But it's such a blessing for the kitty, and quite frankly, it's amazing. It's unconditional love, and you can just tell when a kitty is from the streets and they've been through trauma, the appreciation and gratitude they have for feeling safe and feeling love and just wanting a lap and a soft blanket and not having to sleep with one eye open. I mean, it's just, if you have a way to do that, if somebody reaches out, if you see a desperate plea on Facebook, because it happens all the time, desperate plea, SOS, need a foster, please help, just raise your hand and ask what they're, bless you, raise your hand and ask what you need to do, and, figure out if you're a fit, and just try it out. But always remember, though, it's okay to foster fail, but the goodbye is the goal, because then you're preparing that kitty for its future family, and you're like blessing that future family and giving joy to that future family, and then opening up a space in your home if you choose to continue fostering. So it's a win-win situation for everyone.
My God, you just keep really giving me the chills. The goosebumps. Like everything you say, you're so inspiring, Erin. Like seriously, I need to shave again.
She got the prickles. I know that I'm really hoping that the storm is going to dodge you tonight. Oh my God, I just think about all those babies on the outside too.
Yeah.
But I think that, we live in a world where we do see a lot of sad things. We see a lot of things that overwhelm us. And sometimes we just feel like, oh, the faster we can scroll past this. I really feel like you've given us some tools tonight to really be able to find out where we can help. And I think you are such a living example of the joy that you find in actually accomplishing something that is helpful for our communities. I know Dr. Karen Becker had a post not long ago that just said, never walk past pain. Like if you see suffering, don't walk past it. So I want to wrap this up with your incredible hashtag for anyone who's on the fence.
Yeah.
What helped you decide to be the someone?
Yeah. Be the someone. Because that's a good question, because I probably couldn't live with myself knowing I could do something. And the people in my community hear me say this all the time. And I encourage everyone watching to steal this. Remember R&D, rip off and duplicate?
Yes.
I do a lot of talks in our town. Like we have a lot of our social clubs, like Lions and Kiwanis and all that. And I always kick it off by saying, whether you like cats or don't like cats, we can all agree we don't need more cats. And those of us who are doing TNR are helping to prevent more cats being born outside. Now, I have said that, and I have sold tickets to fundraisers, and I've turned people around because I have said, hey, do you want to come to our fundraiser? Oh, is it for cats? No, I don't like cats. Well, whether you like cats or don't like cats, we can all agree we don't need more cats, and we're making sure more kitties aren't born outside. Well, I can get on board with that. Okay, I'll take 2 tickets.
I love that. You're so smart. Again
smart.
With the chiggle bumps. Look at that.
She is all goose bumped out.
You kissed me.
That's so true, though.
What's that?
That is so true.
I just feel like, social media has a way of making people feel like it's, you're kind of on your own or whatever. But this is such an incredible way to realize that you can make a change, whether or not, like, just don't scroll past the hard stuff.
Yeah.
There's something beautiful that can be done. And it does take, someone said earlier in the comments, it takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
But it also takes a visionary like you, and someone who decides to begin to start something, to be the someone, to be
the change.
Thank you. Yeah. I just encourage everyone to the reality is you will encounter a cat.
That's true.
at some point in your life outside, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to want help, right? And you're going to want help, and you're going to want help right then and there. If we could be a little bit more proactive, and if we could get involved a little bit ahead of time and be proactive prior to needing the help, proactively get engaged before the kitties are born, before mama gets pregnant, all of that, right? If we could just don't wait until that cat shows up on your porch. Just get involved, be proactive, and try to avoid that cat showing up on your porch by helping an organization get those kitties fixed.
Yes.
God bless
Or
you.
start your own.
Or
Yeah,
be
find the gap. Yeah.
love Laura Lee, who also does TNR clinics.
Yeah.
And I like to say, if you are not part of the solution,
Then you are part of the problem.
True.
that is
It is true.
potentially,
It is
yes.
So we will leave you guys with that.
Yeah, you got it.
Be the
And
someone. If you're not part of the solution,
you're-
you're
if you-
part of the problem.
If you can't be part of advocacy or volunteering or fostering or TNRing,
Or
then
donating.
go adopt a shelter cat.
Yeah. Or go
Yeah.
help. Go volunteer. Love
Yeah.
on the kitties, clean out their cages, scoop their litter. Like, take an hour out of your day and go love on some kitties and help out, because that means you're relieving somebody else from having to do that.
Yes. And
Yes.
at the very least, share on social media.
Share.
Share with other people, because we have to spread the word
Yeah.
in order to make change. It takes all of us. It takes a village.
Yes.
And so, yeah, at the very least, support your local shelters
Please.
I love
or
it
any
so much.
shelter.
Yeah.
Okay. Any final thoughts from you? Anything that we didn't cover? Anything on your mind, top of mind?
Oh my goodness. Oh gosh, we covered a lot, right?
Wow.
Yeah, just don't forget about the little guys. There's all these little rescues that don't have the buildings, that don't have the the window facing. There's so many of us that just operate on our own. I get so many people, can I bring my kittens to you? I'm like, I just don't have the space. I'm not a shelter. So try to get involved with the little guys, the smaller organizations, the smaller shelters. They're feeling it the most. And just go out there, be the someone, reach out, find out what your skill sets are and how you can contribute. And people will be so grateful. And try your best to celebrate the people in rescue, and try your best to contribute and not criticize or complain, and show up with some cookies and coffee if you can one day, right? I mean, it's just amazing how far appreciation can go, because they don't feel the appreciation that often. So just surprise them one day. They get appreciated, they get donations, they get litter, but take them lunch one day, or show up with some coffee, just say thanks for what you do in our community. And
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
to celebrate.
I love that.
That's the kind of thing
I
that
love
makes me cry.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got your new channel on YouTube, Small Town TNR. Where else can people follow your journey?
Yeah, our website, fc3tnr.org, that tends to have everything there. We're also on Facebook, FC3TNR, or FC3 Firelands Community Cat Coalition, and then Instagram, FC3.TNR.
I love
We
it.
will find
I
you.
love it. Okay.
Erin, thank
awesome.
you so
Everybody
much.
go share, and get involved. Be that someone. We love you all
Be
so
the
much.
someone.
We love you,
Yes.
Erin.
Erin,
Love
much.
you.
Yes.
Thank
and
you.
for joining us.
Thank
we hope that you
you.
stay dry with all the
Yes.
storms coming.
dry and safe with these
And
storms
safe.
on their way.
Yeah.
I'm glad the power didn't go out.
And you too,
Me
Tommy.
too.
Oh,
Yes.
we made it.
All right. Love you
We
guys.
love you.
Happy
Thank
Wednesday.
you guys for joining.
Don't forget to join us on Saturday.
It's gonna be a big day.